I think I blacked out. Okay, let's talk about it. I went into Indigo, okay, for a card, okay? A purchase that would be $5 to $10 at the most. Okay, turned into an exploration of the rest of the inventory, okay? It's November right now, okay? I don't normally decorate for Christmas, maybe just a little bit here and there, nothing too fancy, okay? But this year I've been feeling more festive and have subscribed to the November 1st, it's okay to do Christmas, okay? As you have seen in my intro, you can see my Christmas tree is already decorated in the back, okay? We still need to add a little bit more to it, but the base of it is pretty done. Okay, so I knew going into Indigo they had a lot of nice Christmassy things, so I was already aware that I was probably going to pick something up. That was fine. I didn't expect, and as soon as I walked up to the second level and went right to that romance section, I knew it was game over for me. I didn't expect this trip to turn into, let me buy a whole series, a 5-book series that I've already read that I love. Okay, it's the Windy City series by Liz Tomforty. And honestly, I needed to purchase it and it had been on my list for a minute. And the reason being is because I have them all on my Kindle. I've read them multiple times on my Kindle. But the new cover art, like the new covers for that series was coming out and is already in production. So I knew that it would be hard to find the original, or I should say, the covers that I liked that have the city of Chicago in the back. And I'll show it to you in a minute. But that is what, when I saw it, I was like, I need to purchase it, okay? And they only had a few copies of each, and I think for the right move there was only one copy left. For Rewind It Back there was only one copy left of the cover that I liked. So I just knew, I was like, you know what, I know I'm spending a lot of money today, like I'm acting as if I'm rich, I'm not. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then of course I get to the checkout and they're like, oh, I've got some good news for you. I'm like, what? They're like, well, because you spent this much money, you can get a free blanket. So now I got a third one of these bad boys over here. Yeah. Oh, let's just get into it. So this is the blanket of discussion. I got this like navy blue color. I love these blankets. And honestly, in hindsight, maybe I should have got a different color, but I didn't even know about the promotion. Like basically what was happening was, although I get all the emails, for some reason I had been signed out on my email on my phone. So even though I was receiving all of the emails, it wasn't loading. So I actually didn't know there was this promotion. And if I had known there was, I mean, maybe I wouldn't have spent that much money, but regardless, if I had known about this promotion, maybe I would have gone in and had a look and see what I liked, what colors. They also had a gray one and I didn't pick it up because these like lighter colors, I'm just always so worried that I'm going to get them dirty. Like I'm just kind of messy in that way. And, you know, I get stains on shit and I'm like, oh no, like I do not want to, you know, get this dirty. If you pick a darker color, it doesn't like show as much. But, and I love blue, right? But I did have one that was very similar in this color, which is why I'm like, oh, why did I go for it? But you know what? It's like a nice blue. It goes with the tree, it goes with the decor, it's fine. Anyways, so that's what that was. It's from Indigo. I also got some Christmas decor and I knew I was already going to get some of that. I didn't know I was going to find some pieces like right away. Going into Indigo that day, I knew I was only going to purchase a card, or that I was going for that. I did have in mind, I was like, let me go. If I have some time, I'll look around, see what Christmas stuff they have, and then I can go back and purchase them. But as soon as I walked in the door and I saw the Christmas decorations, I saw stockings. Okay, now, my name starts with a V. Tell me how difficult it is to find that in the store. So, tell me how I see these really cute stockings. And I've got the V over here. I've got the V over there for myself. And then I've got the A over here for my fiance. I wanted to have both of our initials, you know, so that we can see them, right? And then I also saw this. It's like, it's porcelain, I think, or like glass. I'm not exactly 100% sure what material this is, but it's just like a stacked book decor with like different common books, right? Like the Christmas Carol there, it was the night before Christmas, right? And the color's just so cute, and I honestly think it just goes so well over there that I'm just like so happy about it. And then those are actually stocking holders, and those are not from Indigo. They're actually from Canadian Tire. So I had to, you know, go find them. But I was really happy with all the like Christmas decor that we got. And then this one here, you know, where it says the North Pole Santa's Workshop, that I actually got from Michael's. Okay, so I've kind of just like paired some like random stuff around the place. And then lastly, what I purchased. Okay, also those were only, I think, like $20. Okay, that was a little bit more pricier. That was around $45. But the big bulk and the reason why I was able to even get the promotion and get the free blanket was because I purchased this bad boy over here. Okay, the Windy City series by Liz Tomforty. And yeah, I'll just show you guys the covers and just explain what I was talking about. Okay, and since I kind of went through almost all my Christmas decor, the last ones I have are these pillows. They're actually pillowcases that I just put over the pillows that I had here. And I was really thankful that someone gifted them to me. And they turned out, you know, really great. So I didn't end up having to like go out and find decorative pillows. I could just put them over pillows that I had. So that was good. I talked about how I got the Windy City series. I really did enjoy this. And one thing that's really interesting, like I haven't actually spoken about this series yet on my channel, and I am gonna do kind of a bigger deep dive into each novel. But one thing about this series is that I was actually quite apprehensive about starting it. I just didn't know. I heard such mixed reviews about the first novel, which is Mile High in this series. And I just heard such mixed reviews because of just like the character. And then in The Right Move, which is book number 2, I guess the footing of like the characters are a bit better. And I always find that typically book 2 is a little bit better just because you get into like the author usually gets into a flow of writing about the characters and really starts building a greater world. But I absolutely adored this series. So I mentioned earlier that the reason I ended up picking it up was because some of the covers were going out of stock. So this is the cover that I like. Okay, this is the cover that's on my Kindle. Okay, and I can insert a photo of what the new covers look like. And for myself, I just didn't like that style. And I preferred this kind. So Mile High is about Stevie and Xander's, and I'm just gonna go through this part because it kind of sets up the tone for the rest of the series. Stevie is a flight attendant, and she's like privately working for the Chicago's hockey team. And they kind of explain at the beginning that instead of having like a revolving door of workers for the plane, they are just gonna hire one team. So they have like their pilots, the same pilot, the same flight attendants, and so forth, right? So they are essentially gonna be on the road with them and flying with them every time. So it's important that everyone kind of gets along and they do well, because it's not just, oh, I'm flying for them for one flight. It's no, you're with them for the entire season. For as long as they're playing hockey and as long as they're in the tournament, you're working for them. Okay, so that's what's the deal with that, right? Obviously, that sets up the storyline for Xander's, who's the main hockey guy, and for Stevie to become a couple, right? Or become involved with each other. So Stevie's character is a little bit interesting because she's a twin, and her twin is a professional basketball player, which is book number 2, The Right Move. So she's used to being around athletes and like higher celebrities, I guess, like A-list celebrities and so forth. So she's not buying the crap that Xander's is selling, okay? And that kind of intrigues him. And the reason why I'm discussing Mile High is because we get all these different characters, and the series is about the different characters and the different athletes of Chicago, right? So we've got hockey, we have basketball, and then we get the brothers in baseball. And then finally we get our lovable friend, Rio, who is also a hockey player. Okay, so he's teammates with Xander's. Okay, so I kind of gave that quick description just to kind of give you guys a feel of the series. And the reason why I kind of went into that was because I was apprehensive, like I've said before, about picking up the series. And I think for myself, the reason I was apprehensive was I didn't know if I wanted to read a series that didn't follow all of the teammates or just follows one specific sport. So I love the Playing for Keeps series by Becca Mack. And the reason why I love that series so much was because it follows all the teammates and they're all on the same team, which means we're getting so much crossover between the two. And I was a little apprehensive that we wouldn't get that with this series. But I will say this, Liz Tomforty did a really good job of wrapping up the series and interconnecting everybody in a really fun way. The found family aspect to this series is pretty unmatched, and I really enjoyed it. One of the reasons why I really wanted to kind of have this cover, going back to the original reason why I purchased the series, is because, again, I love this series. I have all of them on my Kindle, and it's fun to have the Kindle copy plus the physical copy, because the physical copy, you can just kind of read it really wherever you want. Same thing with your Kindle, but with your Kindle, you can always read it in bed, and you can kind of take it on the go to where you don't have to, like, she's kind of thick, it's heavy. Nevertheless, these are a series that I really wanted to have a physical copy of. And my rule of thumb is if I'm able to read a book more than like 2 or 3 times, and it has really good rereadability for myself, because I have no problem rereading things. When novels have such rereadability, I'm like, I need to have it because I know I will like it enough to go back and reread it. And I actually have read this book like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times already. So I'm really excited to kind of go back and do a reread of this series with the physical paperbacks. Now, I'm going to insert, I probably said it earlier, but I'm going to insert what the new copies look like just because, so we can kind of see, like, and compare. But I really enjoy this one. Not only does it have the airplane, but it also has the city of Chicago here. And I just like it better. Now, I did, like, on an impulsive decision, I went and I purchased it because I was afraid that I wasn't going to find these copies again. And I know that they have the other ones available as well. And that made me a little nervous because if they have two different copies or two different covers, and I know this one is going out of production, I needed to grab it when I could. So I did. And I didn't pay attention. Now, I have no idea if this happened, this crease. I have no idea if this happened on my way home from it or if it was already like this at the store and I just didn't see it, or if it was my own doing when I put it on my bookcase. Cries. But I would rather have it be slightly damaged and like on the back, you know, than it not be the edition that I want, right? So with that being said, this is what the other ones, you know, look like. And just like, that's so pretty. Like, you know, it's got, again, the city skyline, the sunset and so forth. Both of these kind of have like high rise, like buildings. So Xander's and Ryan, who is Stevie's brother, they actually live in the same neighborhood, and their buildings are actually like across the street from each other. And one thing about Ryan's character, which doesn't really spoil too much of the book or really anything, is he's just so famous and so private that he can't really leave his place, and he doesn't really want to leave his home unless it's to go like work. And so he kind of just stays in his penthouse. Okay. And I feel like that kind of like shows it a little bit here with the fact that it's like a skyrise here, but I could have just pulled that out of my behind for sure. And then we've got Caught Up, which is the third one. And this one shows, I mean, of course, we've got the city skyline here. This one shows like the baseball diamond, and that's because this one follows Kai, and he's a baseball player. And I can't remember if he's the captain of the baseball team, but he's a baseball player. He's really, really talented, and he is a single dad. He's just trying to figure out fatherhood along with, you know, playing a professional sport, right? So obviously I'm not going to get into it, but, you know, you can see like the baseball diamond, and then in the back, you can see just a little bit more of like that illustration. And then Play Along, beautiful cover, by the way. I love purple. Play Along follows Isaiah, and that is Kai's younger brother. And he also plays baseball, and he plays baseball for the same team that Kai plays for in Chicago. So this one follows like the brothers, right? And that was something that I didn't know if I wanted to really read, because I didn't know if I wanted two baseball. Like, I love the fact that they're brothers because I love sibling stories. And it's even better because there's that more familial, like, beautiful moments. But I didn't know if I wanted two baseball stories when the original one began with hockey. It was just one of those things that I was like, I don't know. But I really enjoyed it, and it's just beautiful, and you can kind of see, like, again, it's all about the skyline, the Chicago skyline, and then there's lightning strikes, and you can kind of see, like, in the back here, lightning strikes, and then Las Vegas. So I'm not going to say why the Las Vegas is there, but obviously a trip is there. And then the lightning strikes are actually a really big part of like Isaiah's backstory, so I'm not going to go through that, but that's just kind of like the symbolism that she put in there. And I think it works really well. And it makes sense that you'd have the lightning strikes showing so well on the Chicago skyline. And the fact that that's something that could have potentially been taken away is something that I really didn't want to like gamble with. So that's why I was like, no, I need it. And then the final copy, or the final one, is Rewind It Back. And this is Rio's story. And this concludes with a hockey player. And this one's kind of like a second chance romance. And honestly, I really love this book too. Rio is just amazing. This book was interesting because it really was a really big tie-in to the rest of the series. And I do actually have a video filmed on this, but I'm not sure if I want to release it now or wait and release it in chronological order of the book series. We'll see what I decide. So again, love the copy, and I just wanted it to be the same and match. Now, the material of the book cover is actually a little bit different. I noticed that at the store, but it was the last copy. And it's the last book in the series, which means the amount of copies in this edition are not as many as the others. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get it. So because I got these 5 books, it put me over the top to allow me to get that for free. But you know what? I'm not complaining. Honestly, I don't go out and purchase books like that quite often and, you know, buy the full series. And you know what? Like, I waited till all of these books came out because I was like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not gonna start purchasing these beautiful covers to these beautiful novels, and then halfway through the series, because sometimes you don't even know how many books are gonna be in the series, and wait halfway through to find out that they've gotten published or they've gotten picked up by somebody else, and now there's going to be a new cover, and now the old ones are not going to be in stock anymore, or you can get the other copies for the first 2 or 3 books that are already in circulation, but now the new ones, or like the second half of the series, they're not going to be published with that cover art. Now it's going to be something new, and then they're going to really re-release all of them in that. And as much as I love and I want to support these authors that I love, I cannot go back and repurchase multiple editions or multiple covers. Okay, if I have like FU money, that's fine, but I don't, and I have to be selective about that. And it's already like screwed me over because like the Playing for Keeps series, I have 3 books in a cover that I absolutely love, and the other 2 are in the new covers, which are gorgeous, by the way, and are signed. Like, I've gotten them signed by Becca Mac, but because they were released halfway through the series, I now have a collection that does not match. And I'm not willing to part ways with the other ones, and I'm not willing to repurchase them. Like, I just don't know what to do. That's why I waited for these books to be all out in circulation, the same covers, so that at least they match. Okay? So anyways, so that was my little haul. And yeah, so I kind of just showed you guys my, little Christmas decor that I got from Indigo, my haul from Indigo, and then just roughly going through these books that I purchased, and that kind of allowed me to get that free blanket. And yeah, so happy holidays to everyone, and welcome back, and thank you for listening. And yeah, we will see you guys, I don't know, in the new year, I guess. I'm not too sure if this will be my last video that I post. in 2025, but if it is, we'll see you guys in the new year, and we're excited for that, and hoping we keep our promises, kind of like our New Year's resolution there. But again, thank you for returning, thank you for supporting, and I will see you guys next time with another video.